Anybody else like to travel? Hello everyone and welcome back to Friendeavor. I hope you're all having an amazing day. This week we are talking about how to be a good guest. How to be a good guest. It seems like it would be something that would kind of be like an intrinsic knowledge that you just kind of be born with. It is not. And I do not mean to make anybody feel bad, or if you're like, oh no, I did that. That's not the point. The point is that this is just how to be a good guest, and it varies based off of the house or situation that you're in, because if you're in your grandma's house, then it might be different than if you're in your best friend's mom's house, right? Apply these tips as you will to whatever. Tip number 1, don't expect anything. Don't expect anything from your host family. Like, don't really be like, okay, what are they gonna feed me today, right? Okay, obviously I'll do a video about being a good host some other time, but if you come in with no expectations, you will be more likely to be extremely pleasantly surprised when very good and kindly host things happen. But if you come in and expect a gift basket on your bed and there's nothing there, then you're setting yourself on the wrong path right out of the gate. You're setting the wrong tone immediately, right? When you walk in your room and you see a gift basket on your bed and you weren't expecting it, it's like, that's so sweet. That's so thoughtful. Boom. Pleasantly surprised right out of the gate. Tip number 2 kind of goes along with the other one. Don't be demanding. Don't be like, oh, well, I need you to take me here and I need you to take me there and I need this and that and the other. No. You are a guest in their home. If you need something and they have opened the door, figuratively, for you to ask, oh, let us know if you need anything. And if you need something simple, not something like I like breakfast in bed every single day, then yes, feel free. And again, check your level of comfort with your hosts. Like, if you're at a complete stranger's house, which happened to me this past summer, but I'll save that story for maybe the end of this video, we'll see. Just don't be demanding. Don't have any expectations. Don't be demanding. Tips 1 and 2. Tip 3, these tips just keep building right on top of each other. Be gracious. Be so gracious. And if you don't know what gracious is, research it. Get that deeply into who you are, ingrain into to be gracious. Alexa, what does it mean to be gracious?
As an adjective, gracious can have a few meanings. 1. Pleasantly kind, benevolent, and courteous.
To be pleasantly kind, that should not be a difficult thing for people to handle, and it's gonna make you a memorable house guest. I love your decor. I love the vibes, whatever. You know who your audience is and your host. But if your person you're staying with made you a meal, compliment the meal. If they are doing something and they're sharing with you their passion, compliment their passion. Ask questions about it. Try to spark something out of that. If something goes mildly wrong or even hugely wrong, just kindly navigate it. You don't have to like flip a switch. People call it being a Karen. I don't feel like that is the appropriate term because my mom's name is Karen, but you know what I mean. Graciousness. So express gratitude. That's kind of tip number, what are we on? 4? 4, express gratitude. Thank you so much for allowing me to stay here. Thank you for picking me up from the airport. You might be noticing, wow, Danielle, you look a little bit different from the first half of this video. It's because my camera died and I'm shooting the back half of this video at a later date. But we wrapped up 4 tips. We're moving on to number 5. Our 5th tip is when being a good guest, clean up after yourself. If you're staying overnight, make your bed. If you're staying for a lengthy amount of time, make sure your trash is picked up off the floor. They may have provided that space for you, but that does not mean that you get to just live how you would like to normally live. Maybe you do that in your own home. Get your clothes up off the floor. Like I said, trash. If they gave you a drink before you went to bed, take the cup back to the kitchen. That kind of thing. If you have your own bathroom, yeah, set out your products or whatever, hair stuff, but keep it consolidated and looking nice. If you're sharing a bathroom, take your toiletries with you to and from your room when you're trying to get ready for your day. Number 6, bring a host gift. That is not just for like an overnight stay. If someone invited you to dinner, offer to bring some food to help with, you know, the preparation of the meal. Personally, I am not one to ask people to bring food because when I throw a dinner party, I like it a certain way, certain food, whatever. I'll definitely ask people like bring, you know, drinks or you know, drinks, or if we have salsa, we need chips, you know, something like that. But again, I want my guests to come over and be there, right? It depends. All of these tips depend on like the caliber of the host you are. If you're super close to someone, it's all gonna be a slightly different. But overall, pretty much across the board, you want to bring a gift for your host, whether that's a contribution in some way or just a thank you for letting me be here. Number 7, don't change plans at the last minute. Whether that be, I'm thinking all of these tips are kind of coming through the lens of like an extended stay, you know, like you're staying the night at their house or a couple nights, or you came across the country to see them, that kind of thing. But to be a good guest, don't change plans at the last minute, whether that is adding extra people to your trip or having drastic timing, you know, like I was gonna come in on Thursday, but now I'm coming in on Tuesday, or, you know, I was thinking I was gonna leave on Saturday, but now I think I'll wait until Monday or Tuesday. Drastic timing is not comfortable for anyone. You have to think that if you're coming to these people's homes, their life is still going on. They're not on vacation. They're not taking a trip. They may have taken time off to be with you, but whether you're there or not, their life is going to continue to move on, and they're still going to have responsibilities to some extent. So just be mindful of that. Tip number 8. If you are there, if you are a guest in someone's home for a special event, say a birthday party or a wedding or something like that, especially if you came from afar to be a part, offer to help. Offer to help, whether that's in prep work or setting up or whatever falls under the purview of help for your event. Offer to help. If they decline your help, still help, okay? If they're like, oh no, take it easy, you can stack chairs, you can fold some napkins, you can put up some balloons or something. And if they are incredibly insistent and like emphatic that you don't, then it might be helpful to stay out of their way, but do not be the person who comes for a special event and just like, I'm here, be honored by my presence. Especially if it's for like someone else who's the guest of honor. You know, like if you're coming and they need help, which they usually do, you gotta chip in and help them. And it shouldn't be a surprise to you. I really can't stress that one enough, because in those kind of situations, a lot of hands really help move the process along and make it all the more special for whatever the occasion is. Number 9, and we are stopping at 10, so I've only got 2 more for you, but number 9 is be on board for whatever they want to do. Whatever their itinerary is, if they set it for you, be on board. Adapt and along for the ride mentality, okay? If it's your vacation and they are graciously allowing you to be in their home, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this in tip 10, but then that's one thing. But if you're going to see them and they're playing this, you know, host for you and hosting not only you in their home, but hosting like your time with them, be on board for whatever. Be chill. If they suggest something that's not really your speed, you can kindly like redirect and be like, oh yeah, I did that before, or something. You know, just, it all goes back to that gracious mentality of you are a guest. Show appreciation for your host, especially if they made plans for you. So yeah, just that along for the ride mentality will make your trip go really smoothly. And if they didn't plan anything for you and you really want to do something, invite them to do it with you, and make sure it's during a time that they don't have something else scheduled. If you know you're supposed to have family dinner at 6 o'clock with them, but you got a tea time for 6:30, I would switch out your golf plans because they already had something for you. Tip number 10, and our last one before we wrap up this video. If you are treating someone's house, and like this is the plan, okay, like you've planned to do this. If you're treating someone's house as like a home base, say you are going back to somewhere that you moved away from and you've got a lot of people to see, or you just have a lot of friends in a place, or you're going to a conference and you're not going there specifically to be with those people, like it's like an added bonus that you're there, and you're treating the house and home like a home base, you know, I'm gonna go here and then come back, and you know, like a hotel, like you would a hotel. Make sure that is the plan. Ensure multiple times over that you and your host have an understanding that you're not going to be there all the time, that there should be no offense if you are not there to have breakfast with them in the morning or to take a walk in the afternoon, or you know, whatever it is. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. That's only going to put a strain on your relationship if you don't have that communication element. Respect their space. If you're treating it like, you know, a home base, a hotel, respect their space. Okay, you coming in and out is gonna disrupt their system. And you might think, it's just me and my spouse, we're coming. Okay, it doesn't matter. A guest in someone's home is going to interrupt their time. Reduce your footprint as much as you can. Specifically, in the home-based scenario. Don't bring over uninvited guests. If you're at a conference and you're staying with your aunt and uncle, don't bring your pals over to their house to have a midnight party. And during that time, during that window, it probably will be that you, even if you're not going to be with them the whole time, you'll make plans with your hosts. I would hope so. If not, to take them out to a nice dinner, but just spend time with them, right? Do not change those plans. Do not break those plans. They might have something come up, and that's fine. You can't. That's terrible. That's so rude, especially for them offering their home for you to treat it like a hotel. If you have any more tips for being a good guest, drop them below. We are definitely going to do a second video about how to be a good host somewhere down the line. We'll see. And I will tell you some of my stories in the future. Like I mentioned earlier in the video that I was in a complete stranger's home. My friend's mom's childhood friend. Okay, so like that's how far removed that person is. Fantastic host, very good experience, but I had to put in a lot of these tips into practice because staying with a stranger is just a whole different ballgame. Thank you so much for stopping by this video this week. Please check out our website for all the resources, books, materials, all that kind of thing. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We got our new book out, 52 Friend Dates. Check that out on Amazon. And a lot of cool things coming up in, I think, 3 videos from today. We got a big leap to our next stage of Friendeavor. But thank you so much for stopping by this week. I appreciate it. Friendship is a journey. It's an endeavor. I will see you next time on Friendeavor.